Hi everyone, it's Heidi from flutterbyheidi.co.uk and I'm Heidi Smith. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in the United Kingdom. I'm just coming along to share one of my recent projects with you, which is using the Stamparatus for some repeat stamping and also a little bit of masking too. So this is our card. I've done it in browns to make it more masculine. This one I did in pink, so I just thought it was a really lovely colour with the blushing bride and the Rococo rose that we've got there. And this time I'm actually going to do a blue shaded one. It's not necessarily masculine. If you've got someone who loves peacock blues, that's what we're going to be doing today. So the stamp sets I've used, you can see here. I've used the Crafting Forever for the lovely pen image, and again this is a lovely one where if you wanted to add a bit more detail you could always colour those in. So those are the pens that I've used there. I've then used for the sentiment a Beautiful Day, gorgeous stamp set, absolutely love it. It's got this lovely font for a happy birthday and it says maybe your day be as beautiful as you, which isn't necessarily something you'd want to say to everyone, so we're just going to mask that off just to use the happy birthday. And then for the ink splats, you may well have an ink splat. I've used the one from the Hugs from Shelley paper pumpkin kit that we had recently, and it's just a great accented one with the distinctive kind of shading within it as well. But again, you could use another ink splat if you wanted. Maybe some artisan textures would give you some texture as well. So that's the card we're making. As I've said, I'm going to do it in some blues. So I'm going to use the lovely Pretty Peacock, which you can see here, and I've used half a sheet of cardstock, so that's 10.5 centimetres, and then I'm just trimming that down to 29 centimetres. I'm scoring twice, make sure it's butted up nicely, 14.5 and 15.5. That's to give our little reinforcement, and all the other cutting I've actually done in advance. So let's do the card base first. So just make sure that's nicely lined up. You don't need to fold that one because you don't want that to be a loose kind of crease, because we're going to actually glue that down. But what we are going to do is pop our panel of Very Vanilla in there. So I've cut a piece of Very Vanilla, and that's 10 by 13.5 centimetres. 10 by 13 centimetres rather. So 10 by 13, and I'm just going to do some of the ink splat stamping on there. So just and obviously you could stamp one of the pens in there if you wanted as well. I do love the effect of Very Vanilla with lots of different things. I find that it's just such a lovely colour, this sort of Very Vanilla. It is literally sort of vanilla, but you perhaps describe it as an ivory colour, but it's just nice as a change from the white. I'm just using my fast fuse there. Obviously use whatever glue you prefer, but on this panel on the top here I would recommend you either use, I'm going to use fuse for speed, but if not, use a piece of the red tape, because in fact I've got that out now. You just need something that's got a really good bond. So you glue your panel on the side that's got the extra score line, so you've got that just below, and then just fold. And what that does is when you open the card, it just stops it splaying quite so much and just gives it a really nice shape when it's on the shelf with somebody. So pop that to one side now, and let's crack on with the stamping. So I'm using my Stamparatus, and what I've done here, pop that plate to one side, is I have marked out where my card is going to go. So my panel of card for the front is 8 centimetres by 13.5, and what I want to do is stamp this bottom section here. Then I want a gap for my happy birthday, and then my other ones, and I've just marked down, so these are centimetres, so it's 5 centimetres down for the next one and the top one. So with hindsight, I probably would have moved that up slightly just to make it slightly easier. But hey, hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? So I've lined up my, just to show you, there's my stamp there. That's me getting ink all over my thumb, which I'll now transfer onto everything. So just ink up really well. And then you're going to, making sure that's nice and square, just stamp down. And the beauty obviously of this is that you get a really nice crisp image, and if you've missed a bit then it doesn't matter. Okay, and we're going to have our next one just here. So this is leaving a gap for our image, our happy birthday, like so. You see I've just missed that tiny little bit on the end there, so that's fine. I can just ink up, press down and get a perfect image the next time. And then this is the one where I really should have started further up, because it's just a little bit awkward to pop up a magnet in. So I'm just going to pop it on the very corner, ink up again, sorry that's off camera, and then pop that down. So you see there we've got our nice images. And then for the happy birthday, I'm going to want it back in this position here. And you can see, in fact, where I've actually done it in the first place. So back in our original position. This is where I hope I've redone it correctly. And this is where our masking comes in. So I'm taking a strip of post-it note, and I'm using the sticky edge, only one post-it note, to come and pop over there. And what I'm doing is I'm just using my thumbnail to run that down between the happy birthday and the rest of it. So I've inked that up. Take that off, make sure it doesn't look like I've got any there, and then hopefully I have lined it up correctly. Not as well as I might have done. Hey, but there we go. There's your happy birthday. What I did originally was I did this on a small strip of paper. I could have perhaps moved it over very slightly. But I just practiced a couple of times with a strip of paper. And if you're wanting to get ahead with birthday cards and have some ready, or you've perhaps got a craft fair coming up, then the Stamparatus is a really great way of making sure that you can do repeat stamping. I've just dropped my ink pad, and look, I'm covered in ink. So I'm just using a piece of foam that I use for cleaning things here. So dry my hands off quickly. So back to the card then. So we've got our panel for the front, and what I've used here is another one of the in colours, and this is Seaside Spray. So I'm going to come in with my ink splats pattern again, and I'm just going to stamp all the way around here. And it doesn't matter if you go over with this, keep turning so you sort of get a sort of really nice textured effect. And so you can do as much or as little of this as you like. Some people might not like this. They might not like the kind of grungy kind of look to things. I think the ink splats work so well with a pen. As you can tell from I'm really good at getting ink all over things. I just had a class yesterday. You should have seen the state of me by the end of it. I don't think they could quite believe how inky I was. Anyway, there we go. So Seaside Spray, very vanilla on the top. Pop, say, some glue on the back of that panel, and what I've done here is I'm putting this flat onto the panel, she says, hopefully, just layering that to the left hand. So where I'm looking at my top and my bottom, and I'm looking at margin with it, and then I'm popping on some dimensionals. And again, you know, you usually want a couple on a larger panel like this. You'll want a couple of dimensionals in the middle to keep that panel supported, and then just one like either side. And as I said, you know, this is a really effective way to Get lots of cards done. You can do them in all sorts of colours, whatever somebody's favourite colours are, or you could do them you know, in stuff. I did them in neutrals. I had to refilm this video. My microphone battery had gone flat and I hadn't noticed. That was after I'd done a full morning of filming. Wasn't my greatest moment, and whereas I usually check them before I upload, I was so stressed for time I didn't have a chance. But anyway, so here we go. That one was early espresso. Here we have with some lovely pretty peacock and seaside spray. This one is blush and bride rococo rose. A couple of cards for you, quick and easy. And if you wanted to do something a bit different, add a little bit more detail, then what you could always do is come in with your Stampin' Right markers, and these are fabulous, and you could then just add by colouring in some of those flowers. So I'm not going to do all of those now, but you know, you could actually vary it slightly, so you've got slightly more, it's still that kind of tone on tone effect, but vary your flowers a little bit, add a bit more colour if you want. But whatever you want to do, I hope you enjoy making them. And if you'd like to purchase any of the products that you've seen today, pop along to my shop, heidismith.stampinup.net. Follow the links to the shop, and I hope to see you again soon. Subscribe to my channel and then you'll get notified of when I post another video. A bit erratic at the moment, life's in the way. Take care and I'll see you soon.